Citadels is a game by the designer, I'm probably going to get his name wrong, Bruno Faidutti, released in Germany in 2000 and currently published in the United States by Fantasy Flight Games. The basic game, here being played by, my goodness, Julia, Matt, Joe, Eric, Carl, and yours truly, is actually quite simple. It casts the players as rulers of cities in some medieval-ish land, and they race to develop the most impressive and powerful districts. Components of the game include a pool of pretty plastic gold pieces and a deck of district cards, each depicting a potential construction project and its cost in gold to build. On each turn, a player may either draw 2 gold from the bank or draw a card from the stock, and then they have the option to pay a card's cost in gold in order to play that card in front of them. This represents building that district in their principality, and the game ends as soon as someone lays down 8 cards. That's it. What really defines the game, though, is the concept of roles. Separate from the district deck is a character deck that's only 8 cards deep. Each card depicts a different profession and grants a special power or 2 to the player holding it. At the start of every round, the players pass this deck around the table, picking a role card to hold. Their choice is, at first, secret. Each role has a number assigned to it, 1 through 8, and this determines the turn order during the round. One by one, each role is called out, and then the player holding it reveals their character card and takes their turn. The game is given a nasty edge by the fact that the first couple of roles in every turn have powers that exist only to hinder other players. The first of these is role number 1, the assassin, who tries to force another player to lose their turn. This nasty ability is balanced by the fact that the assassin player can't just name another player, they can only name a role. So, if they want to target a specific player, that player has to guess which role their target chose this round. The thief is like the assassin, except that instead of knocking a player out, they try to swipe all their gold. If the thief guesses well, the unlucky player has to surrender their whole pile to the thief at the start of their own turn.
No. Thief. Who are you stealing from?
I am going to steal from... God, who are they? I'm going to steal from the merchant.
Yep, how about merchant?
You know, what the heck? 3 turns in a row you guys have been picking on me?
I just needed money.
That was
Sorry.
good. That was a good call.
That was an excellent call. That's fine. I'm trying to figure out, should I wear a tinfoil hat? Is that my next play with you guys?
It's the stripes. You wore stripes.
I guess so.
These are the 2 overtly meanest roles. After that comes the magician, who can swap cards with the deck or with other players, and then the king, who gets first pick of the roll cards at the start of the next round. The king, incidentally, also gets to call out the roles, and that's kind of fun in its own way. Then we have the bishop, whose districts are indestructible, the merchant, who takes bonus gold, the architect, who gets bonus cards, and can, if they can afford it, build multiple districts in one turn. Finally, there's the warlord, who can pay gold to destroy other people's districts, though he can't touch the bishops.
So, warlord,
It's pretty plain
Julia.
shirt there, architect.
Okay.
Was that?
It's pretty plain
How are you
shirt
going
there,
to
architect.
aim your violence today?
First, I'm going to build a prison.
There's a juicy
For
temple.
2. Nice. And then I'm going to take 2. And yeah, taking out that temple.
I feel like there's a vendetta going on here.
Surely. It's the only 1.1 on the table that isn't mine.
Oh.
So it's the only one that doesn't cost me gold.
Nice.
It's not really nothing personal. The same way robbing the architect is nothing personal.
So Julia. Oh yes, the warlord can also destroy the little wimpy 1-point districts for free. Them's the breaks. You saw Julia take some extra gold for herself there too. That's because each district has 1 of 5 colors associated with it, as do 4 of the roles. If you hold one of those roles, you get a bonus gold piece for each matching district you have. The warlord gives you a bonus for red districts, for example. The 5th district color, purple, has no bonus roll, but they make up for it by giving you special abilities as if you can build them. The laboratory, for example, lets you discard from your hand in exchange for gold, while the Great Wall makes it more expensive for the warlord to trash your districts. When someone builds their 8th district, the game ends when that round is done. Everyone who managed to lay down 8 cards gets some bonus points, as does everyone who has all 5 colors of districts in their principality. Otherwise, the score is determined by the sum of the values in all your district cards, and the winner is the person with the most. So, Joe, we actually played this a couple of times. There was the in-studio shoot, which you were a part of, where several of us sat around the big round table there. And we also got to play a 2-player game that we didn't have any footage of, but in order to see that version of the game, which plays a lot differently.
Absolutely. The 2-player version held up remarkably well. Again, I was introduced to the larger version, and the game is
is very well suited for 5 to 7 players or whatever the number is, and I didn't expect it to scale down to 2 players very well.
Right. Well, of course, I want to say it's kind of a hack that they did, but instead instead of like adjusting the rules a little bit in order to make it okay, it's playable with 2 players. The game is actually completely different in that both players get 2 rolls apiece. That's also the same case in the 3-player game, and that's pretty interesting too. In that the sort of the nastier element of the fact you can lose your entire turn if you get killed by the assassin, or you can have all your money stolen and mess up your entire turn and wait for a whole go around, is a lot different in the smaller version of the game, because you have 2 rolls. So if one of them gets killed, that you still have the other one going for it. Of course, you can get killed and stolen from in the same round as well.
Which, yes, unfortunately,
I should think happened to one of us. But so, what do you think of the game as far as elegance? Do you find it has too many rules, or it's just right?
I think it's a fascinating game. Obviously, I've played more complicated games, but I would say that there are a few of the nicety, the rules you're just talking about, where you can't build 2 of the same territory. It's a rule. It's easy to forget. There's nothing really when you play the game. There's nothing about that would stand out that you made an error. So it would be nice, in a perfect world, there'd be some mechanism to say, oh, that move's legal. But that's quibbling. It's a pretty elegantly designed game. As you pointed out, the roles that you play are very well balanced against each other.
Yeah, and the basic game is very simple in that you're just trying to get 8 cards on your turn. You either get gold or you get cards, and you play a card if you can, and that's it. It's just the roles that add all the salt.
Yes.
And that's really brilliant. I mean, this has been one of my favorite card games for a couple of years now, actually. I'm always in the mood to play it. Either the 2-player, it makes a great 2-player game, or with a group. Though a lot of my friends don't like the game because it's the whole killing your friends element isn't their favorite.
Really, that ties in interestingly to the werewolf game, which we'll be reviewing later in the show, where you kill all of your friends if possible.
Let's get to that, actually. I feel like talking about werewolf.
Let's do.
All right. Excellent.